GameReplays.org,
StrategyInformer.com,
Forums.xbox.com,
GamingSteve.com,
BFME2.HeavenGames.com,
DreamStation.cc,
Xbox365.com,
GamerTagRadio.com.
Today we have the unique opportunity of bringing together a network of community members from the Xbox Live community who are pioneers. You know, some of them have their own websites, some of them are writers, journalists, we've got podcasters, and they're all inside, and we're going to go inside and talk to them and find out what it takes to build a community. Let's do it. So I'm here with Godfrey and Krishna. You guys both do podcasts, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been doing it for like a year and a half. I'm from GamerTagRadio.com.
GamerTagRadio.com. And where are you from?
DreamStation.cc. And we've been doing the same. We've been doing about a year and 5 shows, give or take.
Yeah.
But now they're 2 separate podcasts, right?
2 separate podcasts, but we're kind of attached to the hip because it's really getting to be the indie podcast versus the IGNs and the 1-ups and the corporately sponsored guys. Mm-hmm. So us as indies, we're trying to get a community of the podcasters, share information, share interviews, pimp each other's sites on the podcast, on the website, pictures and everything else to kind of battle against the big guy, you know, little guy versus...
I got to give a shout out to Gaming Steve. He's also here too. GamingSteve.com.
Okay, right on. And now, how did you guys find each other since you said you're indie?
That was a good question. Well, I've been visiting DreamStation.cc for like a long time, ever since Phantasy Star Online came out during the Dreamcast days. So I went there again to visit, and I saw that they had a podcast. So I was like, oh, let me contact the staff members. And ever since then, we've been playing a lot of games on Xbox Live, and ever since then, we've been cool.
Have you met in person before?
No, this is first time. First time, yes. Very Brokeback Mountain when we met. We hugged, we embraced at the airport, that kind of thing.
That's good. That's good. Now, what kind of stuff do you talk about, each of you, on your podcast? Is it just games?
We talk about community members from the Xbox Live community, games, and also what's going on with the Xbox world. So.
And you as well? Is it similar content?
Yeah, on the website we kind of do more press release type stuff. On the podcast we get into games, basically games. We don't want to waste people's time with a big long 3-hour podcast. Half hour, get it done, get all the information about Sony, Microsoft, everybody else, and get it done, get opinions on it.
Right on. Now you say hours. Do you have a co-host when you do them, or hours meaning your community members?
No, for us we have about 5 guys, friends of mine, and we just get on Skype and we do it over the internet because we're all in Ohio, but we're not in the same area.
Right on. And do you have any idea of how many listeners you have, or how many community members you have?
For us, we have already within a year like 32,000 listeners, and recently
I think that's more than we have.
Hey, that's why we got to promote y'all now. But it's good. Like, I really don't care much about like how many listeners. I just want them. It's the quality of the.
And you same as well, similar viewership.
We have about 5,000 downloads a week, depending on. We were lucky enough to be featured in iTunes a couple times, so we bumped up over 6,500. So.
What's your website?
Xbox365.com.
And what sort of stuff goes on there?
We do news and rumors. It's actually the first Xbox site to ever get on the web, and we do like rumors, editorials, reviews, all that sort of stuff.
And where do you get your info from? Who are your sources?
We can't really say who the sources are. Maybe a little executives, but I'm actually a Microsoft MVP as well, so it's actually 2. Yeah.
Tell everyone at home if they're not yet aware. What is a Microsoft MVP?
We're pretty much like the Navy SEALs of Microsoft, pretty much. We're basically consumers that are professional and a certain expertise in Microsoft, and they come to us, and we don't get nominated by ourselves. They actually nominate us.
Okay.
So they come to us.
So Microsoft came to you and said, you are a quality member of our community. We want to give you an award?
Yeah, they said, you're kick-ass, and you need to join us. You need to join us because we're a kick-ass company.
It's kick-ass.
Yes.
What's your membership on your site?
We got about like 12,000 members registered, but like only like 2 posts. What's up with that, guys? Honestly.
Yeah, seriously. Well, thank you for your time, and everyone post to Xbox365.com. Gaming Steve, what's your website?
It is GamingSteve.com, real original.
That's amazing.
I know.
And what sort of things do you do and talk about on your website?
I mostly have a podcast that comes out weekly where I interview a lot of people in the industry, and also I talk about real in-depth issues. I call it the Intelligent Gamers Podcast. We talk about the development issues, what it takes to actually get games done. We also have a very, very active forum, and also I try to cover aspects in the industry that you don't see anywhere else. So,
is this a hobby or is this a full-time job.
It is a hobby. It's not really a full-time job, but it's starting to turn into one because it's starting to take a life of its own, to say the least.
How long have you been doing it?
About a year and a half now. So
really?
yeah, I started it at last GDC, and then the very first thing I posted was Will Wright Spore, and got about 50,000 hits in a few hours, and it took off after that.
So in just a year and a half, how are you getting access to industry executives in these high-power interviews?
I've actually been doing this a long time.
Okay.
That's actually one of the things.
For other people out there who want to start a website, I want them to know it's not that easy to talk to Peter Moore.
Yeah, it's not that easy. And that was my third interview with him. So it's I don't know. It just a lot of people like the podcast. A lot of people just like the stuff I've been asking and talking to them about. So guess I'm just getting good contacts.
So this is Karen, one of the few, the brave, the proud female gamers. So high five, Karen. There you go. Now tell us about your website.
I am from heavengames.com, which is a collection of we have different game sites for about 25 different games.
Name some of the games.
Rome Total War, Age of Empires 3, Rise of Legends, Rise of Nations.
So primarily RTS games?
Yes, entirely RTS games.
And what do you do for those sites? Do you work for all of them or one specifically?
I originally worked in the Stronghold sites, but now I'm just focused on Battle for Middle-earth 2 site.
Okay.
And I'm the site director there.
How many members would you say are on your site right now?
It's kind of hard to tell because we have forums, we have downloads, we have game information.
So will that cover the PC game and now the 360 game?
We might incorporate a forum for the 360 game because I know a lot of our forumers do have 360s.
Right.
It's exciting to be here and to see the new possibilities for it.
It is. And what game are you playing now?
Battle for Middle-earth 2.
Shocker! Now, what's your website?
I'm pretty much representing the forums here from Xbox, forums.xbox.com. I have a blog at msmvps.com/glac.
Okay.
It's just Xbox news.
So would you say you're a leader in the community?
I think so. That's pretty much what the MVP program is all about. It's all about people who lead in the community, and so we just...
So you're MVP?
Yeah.
But do you work for Microsoft?
No. It's all volunteer. It's all out time, out free time, but it's for the good of the community and and the product.
What are the qualifications to becoming an MVP? Is it like no cursing?
Well, you have to be, I guess, appropriate for the times, but you just have to help out in the community in a good way and just help pretty much.
Right. And what are some other websites that you hit up frequently?
Man, there's Major Nelson's blog. There's on10.net. There's Channel 9.
You're a good man.
And then just a couple other fan sites that just look around, trying to help out.
And on the message boards, what's your tag?
Master G-Lock 820.
Master G-Lock 820?
Yeah.
All right, everybody, this is Jason. Jason, what's your website?
I'm here with strategyinformer.com. We're a site that focuses on games of the strategy genre, but we also cover a lot of non-strategy games as well.
When you say covers, so is it like news and reviews?
Yeah, news, reviews, previews, pretty much everything you can think of.
And is this something you do out of passion, or are they giving you a buck?
Definitely something I do out of passion. And even if I did get a buck out of it, it would only be probably a buck. So.
And how long have you been doing it?
Well, I've been doing game journalism related stuff for about 4 years or so now with a couple different sites. I've been at Strategy Informer just fairly recently. I joined up with them, but I've been with about 4 years now total.
And you write reviews?
Reviews, previews, interviews, all sorts of stuff.
And your name on the site, if people wanted to find you or make sure they know what you were writing, is it just Jason?
My articles are all just Jason Ferguson, but on the site, I'm by the username Glacian in the forums and in other places on there.
All right, so this is Nate. Nate, tell everyone what website you're from.
GameReplays.org.
And what do you do there?
I'm part of the global management staff that runs the site and operates it, keeps it running, will solve any manner of issues, so whatever comes.
So you're a back-end IT kind of guy?
big words, perhaps, yeah.
So people, if they went to your website, what can they expect?
Well, our site prides itself on doing reviews for games. So if you post a recording, our staff will review it for you, offer you critiques, strategies, give you help if you need it, give you useful links if you need to go somewhere, and basically
that's a good little tool there.
Yeah, well, it gets people from being out of the noob category into the professional, or even not professional, just getting them the next step they need to to make gaming more real for them.
All right, so there you have it. Hit up all those sites, even better. Start your own.